Once upon a time, in a quiet village nestled in the heart of a lush valley, there lived a humble farmer named Thomas. He was known throughout the land for his generosity and contentment. Thomas had a small but prosperous farm where he grew crops and raised animals. He was content with his simple life, finding joy in the sound of birds singing at sunrise and the laughter of children playing in the fields. One warm summer evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow across the valley, a mysterious visitor arrived in the village. Dressed in tattered robes and a wide-brimmed hat that concealed their face, the stranger asked the villagers for directions to Thomas's farm. Curiosity piqued, they directed the stranger to Thomas's doorstep. Thomas welcomed the stranger into his humble abode, offering food and shelter. The visitor introduced themselves as Elijah and explained that they had the power to grant 3 wishes to the person who showed them kindness and hospitality. Grateful for Thomas's generosity, Elijah granted him 3 wishes but cautioned him to choose wisely. Thomas, a man of simple desires, made his first wish. He wished for a bountiful harvest to ensure that his village never went hungry. Elijah nodded, and the next morning, the fields were overflowing with an abundance of crops. The village rejoiced, and Thomas was hailed as a hero. Now, with 2 wishes remaining, Thomas contemplated how to use them. He observed the villagers' happiness and prosperity and started to feel a twinge of greed. He decided to make his second wish, wishing for endless wealth. The next morning, his humble farmhouse was transformed into a grand mansion, and his farm was surrounded by sparkling gold. With his newfound wealth, Thomas began to change. He became consumed by greed, no longer content with what he had. He hoarded his wealth, becoming isolated from the village and even forgetting to tend to his once thriving farm. The fields grew barren, and the villagers started to suffer. Elijah, the mysterious visitor, returned to check on Thomas. Seeing the dire state of the village, he warned Thomas about the perils of greed. Thomas, blinded by his desire for more, didn't heed the warning. Instead, he made his final wish, wanting power and dominion over all. As soon as Thomas made his final wish, he was transformed into a powerful and ruthless ruler. He ruled with an iron fist, oppressing the villagers who had once looked up to him. The valley that had been so full of life and laughter was now shrouded in darkness and fear. The villagers, who had once loved and respected Thomas, now saw the error of his ways. They yearned for the days when their humble farmer had been content with what he had. They banded together, determined to save their village. One day, as Thomas stood atop his grand palace, surveying the land that he had enslaved, he realized the emptiness of his desires. He remembered the happiness he had once known and the simple joy of sharing with others. In a moment of clarity, Thomas renounced his final wish. He returned to being a humble farmer, and with the help of the villagers, he worked tirelessly to restore the valley to its former glory. The crops flourished, the laughter of children echoed through the fields once again, and the darkness was replaced by hope. The moral of this story serves as a powerful reminder that the pursuit of wealth, power, and greed can often lead individuals down a path of emptiness and isolation. True happiness, the kind that resonates deep within our hearts and endures, can never be found in material possessions or dominion over others. Instead, it is discovered in the simple joys of life, in the laughter of children, in the beauty of a bountiful harvest, and in the bonds we form with our fellow human beings. Thomas's journey serves as a cautionary tale, illustrating the tragic consequences of losing sight of what truly matters in life. He allowed the allure of endless riches and power to blind him to the simple pleasures that had once brought him contentment. His fall from grace is a stark reminder that unchecked greed can lead to one's own undoing. However, the story also offers a message of hope and redemption. It shows that it is never too late to change one's ways, to realize the error of one's choices, and to make amends. Thomas's decision to renounce his final wish and return to a life of simplicity and kindness demonstrates that genuine happiness can be reclaimed. This story encourages us to reflect on our own lives and the choices we make. It calls upon us to prioritize contentment, to embrace kindness and compassion, and to be mindful of the perils of greed. The lesson is timeless and universal, applicable to individuals of all backgrounds and walks of life. By sharing this story with your YouTube audience, you have the opportunity to inspire, educate, and entertain. Emphasizing the importance of contentment, kindness, and the dangers of unchecked ambition can resonate with viewers of all ages. It is a message that not only captures their attention but also leaves a lasting impact, reminding them that the most valuable treasures in life are the simple joys and the meaningful connections we cultivate with others.